Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to Double Chin News. It's Mike.
It's Sam.
It's you.
Today we have a story that I hope doesn't happen to me tomorrow when I get on my plane.
Yeah.
But apparently a flight, this is a AirAsia
flight.
Is bound for Malaysia.
Yeah. Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia from Sydney, Australia. All right, so they actually, this didn't happen recently, but it was found recently that there were major errors. And listen to these crazy errors, okay? So the biggest mistake was the pilot plugged in the wrong coordinates.
Yeah.
They plugged in the wrong coordinates.
It's supposed to fly from Sydney to Malaysia, and well, we don't know where he went, but it was in Malaysia, okay? So he went in the opposite direction.
But the distance was almost 7,000 miles difference.
That's insane.
That is
7,000 miles is over three times US. Almost 3 times US.
Almost 3
Yeah,
times.
3 times US, yeah.
No, the US is like 2,900, right? Yeah, 29. Because remember
20
we were
something hundred.
25.
Well, it depends on which coast you want to go for.
Right. I would say a little more than double. That's crazy.
So the passengers were just on the plane.
Oh, they don't know. Like,
Right.
I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
just like sitting there. They all look the same to me. It's a cloud.
That's
Right.
fine, but they're thinking, oh, we're almost in, we're almost in Malaysia.
But wouldn't that map tell you, that GPS map? You know what I mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like everyone has a GPS map right now in front of them that tells you, that gives you a little plane icon and it flies. It's a map.
Oh, no, right. Well, here's, okay, the flight, it didn't go to the destination.
Yeah.
It didn't get there because they obviously realized they were making a huge
but here's
mistake.
the thing. When the pilot puts in the wrong coordinates, what I'm thinking is maybe that changes the route for the passengers too.
Well, no, but the passengers could see on the thing.
No,
that
they
they're
can't
like,
see that.
Why can't? There's a GPS though.
No, we're talking about they're in the cockpit. Like the passengers have no idea.
Oh, you're saying
But
that.
I'm saying every passenger has an option in their TV screen
to
that says
look at
air map.
that sees
Correct.
where
And
they
they
are
can
at.
see where they're at in the world.
Yeah.
And when they're seeing they're flying in the opposite direction, wouldn't one of them be like, hey,
Guys,
but
hey guys.
But you probably wouldn't do that because if you're in the air,
you think hundreds of people, none of them would do that?
Well, none of them.
Someone's got to be like, yo, if I'm flying to New York, and it shows I'm flying across the Atlantic to London, yo, you bet I'd be like, excuse me, flight attendant, why are we going to London?
Okay, and then she'd be like, she would just dismiss you.
No, she would not. She'd be like,
like,
oh, what?
She'd be like,
she would do something.
No, she'd be like, there's just a mistake on the screen.
Nah, but here's the thing, right?
No.
So apparently, right, the pilot put in the wrong coordinates, and there were signs that something was wrong. There were all sorts of little like beep beep, like error signs that they were not going in the planned direction.
Right.
And the crew just was like, this must be the machine just doing something weird.
Wow.
They just ignored it.
So that's the other error, and then also there was some pre-flight errors where like whatever, like one the co-captain, the captain had swapped duties. So this case was littered with errors. I'll tell you right now, I'm so scared of getting on a plane right now because we just talked about scary things that pilots say that we don't know, and now I'm reading this where they're blatantly disregarding warnings. Dude, I can't get on a plane. It's crazy.
Well, just don't get on AirAsia.
Well, you know what's funny? So at some point they realized they made a mistake, right? And they were like, oh my gosh, let's try to turn back the plane. But apparently they can't do that mid-flight. So eventually they had to go back to Melbourne. They tried to get back to Sydney, but the weather conditions prevented them from doing that, so they had to land in Melbourne.
Dude, and then, so you're still on the flight, right? So you just found out, oh, we gotta go back. Maybe you don't know the reason, because I think pilots won't admit to you anything from the story that we just did. They're not gonna admit to you everything. That's why I'm saying the stewardess would just be like, sir, here's an OJ.
No, she would be like, well, let me check on that for you.
She would say that, and then here's the conversation in the cockpit.
Yeah, that's it.
Captain, are we going to London? And he's like, yeah, made a mistake. We're turning around.
He would have realized the mistake. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He didn't realize the mistake till he went to the other place.
Yeah, which we don't know where.
Yeah. But my point is, they were always hiding from you. And then they'd just be like, oh, we have some technical difficulties. We need to go back to Sydney.
We'll be returning to Sydney.
Yeah. They're not going to tell you nothing. I bet you some of these people had no idea that it was that egregious of an error.
When they got off the plane, it was not where they were supposed to be?
It was right back where they wanted to be. Not where they wanted to be. It's like, we flew for like 7 hours, but we're back where we started.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Like when I landed, I was supposed to be in New York, I landed in Boston.
Yeah.
That was even just 1 hour. I was already mad. I'm like, why am I in Boston?
This is similar because they parked in Melbourne for 3 hours.
Before going back to Malaysia.
Sitting on the plane for 3 more hours after they went the wrong direction.
No, Mike, you know what would have been an equivalent?
Forget
it would have been, you flew for 5 hours to like, we're LA. We have to stop for 3 hours and then fly to New York.
No, the equivalent would be if I left LA.
Yeah.
And I ended up in Japan.
Yeah, backwards. Yeah.
In Japan.
Yo.
Sat for 3 hours.
Yo, tomorrow.
And flew to New York.
You better make sure you're going the right direction. You better make sure you're not going east, bro.
Well, look, I'm pretty sure. I always check like how far along am I.
Yeah,
if I see I'm hitting towards like New York,
Canada,
I'm like, yo, this is
Africa,
probably the wrong thing.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Anyway, guys, so crazy. Maybe don't fly certain airlines. I don't know. I mean, but people do make mistakes. But that's pretty huge in my book.
They say now that they're equipped with better stuff now to deal with this kind of situations. But I'm still suspicious.
But if your pilots still ignore this stuff, it don't matter.
Yeah, man.
So.
Anyhow.
All right, guys, let us know your thoughts on the story. Have you ever flew on an airline that really just done something really bad? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.
Later.